Expectations are created, taught, and then reinforced. Reinforcement increases the likelihood that desired behaviors will be repeated and focuses staff and student attention on desired behaviors. It also fosters a positive school climate and increases instructional time.
The incentives that we give our children here for showing their expectations are that we give them Cougar Bucks. And they can earn those throughout the day from their homeroom teacher or from their elective teachers or after school when they're loading the school buses and getting into their cars. And they're able to save their Cougar Bucks. Every month we have a Cougar, what we call cash-in, and they can spend their Cougar Bucks for the different items that we show them in the cafeteria that they were hosting for that month, or they can save them, and at the end of the semester we have a big trip that we have for them.
Reinforcement should appeal to 85% to 95% of the intended recipients. They should vary and be age appropriate.
If you follow the rules on the bus, you will get a dolphin dollar, you will get your picture taken, you will win Bus of the Month, you'll go home early, and you will eat breakfast early.
You can spend Cougar Bucks on bowling, getting treats, VIP table. There's tons of stuff you can think of.
Providing students options for cashing in their bucks helps to create meaningful and preferred reinforcers.
How can I spend my Cougar cash?
What do you get to do with it?
Eat popsicles, get my face paint, and watch a movie, and popcorn. Yeah. And extra recess.
My favorite part is when we give out prizes, or when we have an assembly, or when we have a magician come. And, you know, because I get to see these kids that I don't see all that often, if they're not a behavior problem, come alive and be rewarded. We gave an Xbox 360 to a little boy named CJ, and he came unglued. And, you know, he's a fantastic kid, a little shy kid. I've never seen him even talking to any of the other kids. And it was just super nice to see the faces when we do the assemblies and reward program. That's my favorite part. It may not be the most effective part, but that's my favorite part.
I get Tiger tickets because I follow rules and do things that the teacher doesn't have to tell me to do.
Data is used to identify areas, students, and faculty in need of evidence-based interventions and support. The Big Five data reports should be reviewed monthly to determine the level of success of the interventions implemented. The Big Five consist of office discipline referrals by month, office discipline referrals by location, office discipline referrals by time of day, office discipline referrals by problem behavior, and office discipline referrals per student.
ODRs were very high, very high. And once implementation of the PBS began, teachers were very receptive of it, students were receptive, parents were receptive, and once they understood the system, once they understood the implementation, I saw a big decrease in office discipline referrals. I just have to boast and brag right now because, you know, I was just very shocked. From August of 2009 up into January of 2010, I've only had 10 discipline referrals for out-of-school suspension. So that's great. That is great, and you know, we have to celebrate. We believe in celebrating all of our successes, especially the small successes, and so that's one of the things that, you know, I commend the staff and the students on, as well as the parents.
PBS is a collaborative process that builds unity within the school community. Teams should be representative of all stakeholders in the school. Suggestions of members for the PBS team, but not limited to, family members, teachers, administrators, bus drivers, students, and behavior specialists. Team members' roles and responsibilities should be clearly defined.
We've seen a growth. We're a 5-8 school. You see unity between each grade, but then you see a common unity for your whole school, which has allowed us to do some things together. Not only that, we are 3 separate schools in one place, and we're working together as a district. And that was not there before.
Our team, and not only our team, just the whole faculty has gone above and beyond just helping out. I mean, we wear a lot of hats at this school. If we've called on another teacher who's not on the PBS team, they'll gladly step in and do whatever they need to do to help us out. So it has worked out, and we've been very pleased with our results.
I think the biggest success with the PBS has been the change of attitude about the kids wanting to do right just because it's right. We may not have reinforced that correctly before, and now it's changed behaviors for students forever, hopefully.
Faculty, staff, and family members are critical stakeholders. In order for PBS to be implemented effectively, 80% buy-in from these stakeholders is necessary.
Well, the function of the PBS team on the campus, of course, initially we learned what PBS was. We learned the importance of it, how to implement it. That was the big thing, is to see what other schools were doing, to fully get an understanding of how it should operate. And so then we set about deciding how to tailor it for our students and our situation. Then after we got it kind of up and going, it was very important that everyone on campus must buy in and have ownership of the program for it to work.
Our positive behavior support team has basically become like the school improvement team. They're the leaders of the school, and they are involved in the planning of everything, whether it be positive behavior support activities or our dropout prevention. They have become a part of everything. Every plan that we have to write, they're incorporated in it so that it is total buy-in throughout the entire school.
With the PBS program here for the school, and being that the process was set up and being made aware of it as a driver here, when I came to the school, it was like a breath of fresh air for me, because I was just shocked, just knowing that they had that set up and that the kids were so studious just as well as with their behavior. And then it kind of just made my job a lot easier as a driver. So knowing that they're coming out of the door and they're quiet and they're loading, it just makes it easier for the driver to actually, to be able to do his job.
And I think the results have shown that the PBS system and getting the parents involved has really motivated our community, really brought more people together for the success of our children. Our children are our future, and the future is now.
The Watchdog program started just this semester at the elementary school. It had been going on at the high school before, and had really great results and great comments from the students as well as the teachers. And so what we do as Watchdog Dads is we come on campus at the invitation of the school, and we just kind of involve ourselves in the lives of the students while they're here on campus, assisting teachers and assisting loading and unloading, monitoring in the cafeteria, just really anything that the teachers would like an extra hand doing, or the school administration needs an extra hand doing. The Watchdog program, in my experience, is a wonderful thing. I've never had the opportunity to do anything like this before. I love being able to come and interact with students, and I love being able to interact with faculty also. I have a vested interest since I have 3 students here at the school, and it also helps me understand sort of the dynamic that the teachers have to deal with in dealing with the students, and gives me a greater appreciation for what the teachers go through. So hopefully I can prepare my children at home to be a better student while they're here at school.
At first, when our behavior intervention specialist talked to me about PBS, I was not on board. I was not going to reward students for doing what they were supposed to do anyway. But after looking at it, after some data, after some training, and realizing that the problem students that needed my help the most had never been taught those social skills. And so if all of us, all the teachers, all the faculty at North Montauk Middle School help teach those students who aren't getting it at home, then they're more likely to succeed academically, behaviorally, and then when they leave our school.
My hope for them is that as they get out into the business world, as they get out into the community and live as adults, that they will understand the importance of effort, attitude, and respect. and that it's just a lifelong process that we've instigated here in our schools.
I think PBS is going to have a tremendous impact on this generation of students. Now that this has become a focus for our state, more schools are implementing PBS. So students are seeing that the way I behave, the way I treat other people, the way I interact with adults does matter. And I believe that will take them a long way in their future and in their jobs, that how I behave toward my employer, how I behave toward my friends will matter. And not just because they're getting privileges or because they're being able to cash in their Cougar Paws, but it's increasing their self-concept, their self-esteem that I can do this. I know how to do this, and I can do this in the future.
I like PBS here because it feels like it's a better atmosphere and we can learn easier in the classrooms.